The plot. I'm seeing that 4 times on Saturday.
Please. Have a seat.
The bike has been moving. Full disclosure, I did not want to see Obsession another 5 times, but for the meme of it, I had to respect it. So with Disclosure Day and Get That Train, I set the next vote, and y'all did me a real solid. I would have done Obsession. I would have loved to Get That Train, but Disclosure Day won. And then the first reviews started coming out. Oh no. And as someone who's had a hit or miss relationship with the Steven Spielberg with a few films that I just don't quite dig, I hope I had 6 options because I swiped 6 times. I was just thankful that even though I was really excited by the premise and very intrigued, if it turned out to be middling, I'd only be seeing it 4 times. But then they added more screenings, and even though my theater really can't accommodate more than 4 screenings for such a long film like life, it found a way. But I'd only committed to 4 screenings. So phew! Haha! Take that! I'm still keeping my promise, boy! I'm doing the 5 screenings because that's what I would have committed to if all the screenings were up to date when the vote went out. Alright, but really, I really hope it's good. I really hope it's good. Yeah. Okay. Felt like a cool space and a cool time to mention hitting that like-o button. Maybe the hypo button. If you do that, might get more traction, might get them sponsors, might break that Guinness World Record. Let's go with viewer number 1 to the movies. Still glorious. Could have been us. Oh, there you are. As expected. There'll be people, but of course I'm here first. Still don't know. Stay positive. We'll stay hopeful. Fingers crossed for Disclosure Day. I just feel like those later times for Stop That Train would be really fun with that crowd. All right. I'll get back on the hopeful train that will hit Emily Blunt and Wake Up Dead Man Challenger.
It's you. What's that noise?
Oh, I was just booking our tickets for Disclosure Day.
There's a second one. A second poster.
2 hours later.
I don't know if I'll ever get used to that, going from a dark theater to the bright outdoors transition. Ooh, a lot to cover, not a lot of time because I went from the first theater to the next theater and the Wildwood trailer had just started. So first, Ghost Energy, the sponsor of my energy. Not today, but maybe someday. I need it. Also need to get popcorn, so let's start. I don't think it's horrible. I'm actually proud of people coming out and actually saying that they were disappointed because Steven Spielberg is such an icon and I can't imagine coming out with that take so early before people can even see the movie and thinking, how will people react if I'm disrespecting this icon? He is an icon, but he's hit or miss. For me, I didn't like The Fabelmans. For me, I didn't like BFG. For me, I kind of liked Minority Report. For me, there was another one, but I'm forgetting it. It was probably in the intro, but this movie, I think, is just a little too musically restrained. And you'll see the craft is always on display every frame. Some shots, I wondered if they were just interesting because Steven Spielberg has the pedigree, has the ability to make the shots so interesting and dynamic, even if it's not necessary. Like, if you're that masterful, or at least if you've had that much experience in the film industry, setting up a normal shot with no flair or pizzazz or panache would seem to me quite boring. And plus, if you're at this point in your career, I have to wonder, at a certain point, are you just curious to try new things? Because I remember previously Steven Spielberg had talked about how he didn't want to do action movies because he just knew how to do them. He knew it like the back of his hand. Then after that, he did Ready Player One. After that, he did Disclosure Day. There's a bit of action. But truly, I think maybe the ingredient that was missing most was music. Oh, suntan lotion somehow on my eyes. There was music, and when it was there, it was effective, but it was very reserved and oftentimes not there at all. So I don't even have the time to watch reviews and see what people's takes are, a reason that they don't like it. I don't think it's going to become an iconic movie. I don't think it's going to become one that we watch in 40 years. But I think it's solid, and it's really well done. What else can you expect from Steven Spielberg? I don't think he drops the ball. I think just sometimes it's not the right mixture of ingredients. Second viewing time. Before now, I was uncaffeinated and underfed. I need popcorn. The spooky hallway. Oh, that's where the bike was coming from. The biggest thing I have to focus on today is steps, because I need to get over my average for 6 months. Use that QR code to get your Crocs.
2 hours later.
Alright, let's see if the light transition is oh, jeez. Yep. So there is more music than the first watch gave me impression of, oh, the car's leaving. Sweet. I come down here when somebody's upstairs. So there's definitely more music than I thought on first watch, but it's so subtle and not making itself known that it feels like there's not much. Plus, there are certain sequences like the car sequence that you saw in the trailers where they're busting out of that house that feel like Steven Spielberg's trying to channel a bit of Bullet, which is just not a film that I actually enjoyed when I first watched it. Maybe I should give it another chance, but where there's no music, but there feels like there should have been. And I know Bullet is known for not having music and that working. In fact, Mission Impossible Fallout, I think, took a lot of inspiration for that, and that did work for me without having the music in a lot of those chase sequences. But sometimes you just need it to get in there. And I feel like that's one of the moments that really needed it. The fact that the three main people are converging together for quite a significant amount of time, maybe that stops people from enjoying this film as much as some others. And I know there's one other thing I wanted to talk about, but as somebody who comes from a cop family, I actually really didn't like the cop interaction very much in the beginning because, one, when he asks her to get out of the car, that's completely out of line. He's not allowed to be asking that in that context. There's nothing that she's done that would warrant that direction, and it's literally unethical police work. And even if it may be true for certain people on certain days, they just kind of unintentionally say that any excess use or abuse of that power that somebody has as a police officer is really just chalked up to, they're just having a bad day. And that's just not the reality. I mean, if it's pitching that cops need therapy, yes, everybody needs therapy. I think everybody would benefit from therapy. I miss therapy. I wish I still had therapy. But it is literally a documented fact that there is a higher rate of domestic abuse amongst police officers compared to, I believe, any other field. So painting it as you're just having a bad day because your wife was sleep deprived and you're sleep deprived and you kind of were just being dicks to each other verbally, and if you both just take a nap then you'll all be better, that's, I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way, especially coming from that police household, knowing that these things are real issues. I don't know, maybe I'm just reading too much into that little bit. But I am still curious, like, what does this movie need to hit with people? Because it just seems like a solid time. Nothing to write home about. Maybe the expectations tied to a Steven Spielberg film are what's overshadowing it, because I don't think it's bad. I think actually on a second watch, a lot of the things that hit like, oh, that's kind of weird on a first watch felt very smoothed over. Like antagonists walking away from a conflict, allowing the heroes to escape, the moment in the motel room where he sends off his girlfriend with the device. Those felt better on a second watch. The big thing that I wanted to mention that I almost forgot is that they completely, in my mind, failed to make the looming World War III presence felt. Because genuinely, when Emily Blunt and Russell show up at that gas station and they're like, they feel like the world's ending, I was like, what happened with the alien stuff that makes them think the world is ending? And I think they do this quite cleverly. They seed the conflicts in with Emily Blunt's audition tape, and it's so beautifully done that you don't pick up on the details because you're focused on her feelings about her audition tape and his reaction to it, that none of the actual information said in that is absorbed at all. And it wasn't until World War III being mentioned in the third act that I was like, oh, is that why? Oh, North Korea? Oh. I don't know how you change it within the structure of this film, but that just needed to feel like some outside, almost disconnected pressure that's just eating away at everyone involved in the world. And that is the one thing I would say was the big failure of the film, is not having that pressure there. But one pressure that is here is my time pressure to get to the next movie. The first gap was technically 15 minutes, but it was just quick beans. And then this one's 30 minutes, then there's a 30 minute, then there's a 60 minutes. So I gotta go chug this Oh, another thing is, based on the trailers, I really thought that this was going to be some psychic disclosure. Because he says, full disclosure, everyone on the planet, all at once. And I was like, oh shit, he's going to psychically link up with everybody and they're just going to see it flash across their eyes. And it was just a news report. Like, it was just a news report. That's what I would have guessed if you said they want to release information in the first place. Online would have been my second guess. So maybe a lot of people have a problem with the fact that they didn't just put it online. And I do think it can be a cheap excuse to be like, under no circumstances do you put that online at all. My only justification is it needs to be paired with the mother alien showing herself. The one that had been helped to escape 5 years ago. This is my guess. Still haven't had the time to watch anybody's reviews. Okay, reviewing 3. Well, technically it's only the second reviewing, but it's like my third viewing.
2 hours later.
It's the spirit of it that I really dig. It is possible to look at that and say the spirituality of it, since it does have religion, but I just really mean the spirit of it. Having empathy is like the whole purpose of religion, and it should be the purpose of humanity and living on Earth. Having empathy for others, extending empathy, living in a way that can't be seen as shameful in terms of treating others with respect or not. And there are so many ways that what I just said can be twisted for negative purposes and can actually echo one of the things that was said in the movie, which is, I don't think you lost your faith in God, I think you lost your faith in people. And that is very much true for me, and I'm a lazy atheist. I lazed my way right into there. I was either raised Catholic or Christian. Genuinely, my family doesn't even care enough to know the difference. And at a certain point, it felt arrogant to claim that the newest accepted religion was definitely the way, excluding Scientology. So I was like, all right, I'm agnostic. And then after a while, I was just like, why am I holding on to this? I'm just atheist. And if I pass away and it turns out there's an afterlife, and I'll just use, Jesus as the easy example for me, I end up at the pearly gates, I'm straight up just going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry for not believing specifically in you. I hope you see that I tried to be a good person. Is literally me not believing in you enough to shut me out? Because kind of a dick move if so, but being here, being human, being a part of all of this, needs people to work together, needs people to have compassion for each other, and not just the way that it's being used most commonly, which is be a part of it or die, because you won't make money and you'll starve and you'll be homeless and you'll die. It really should just be everyone's on an equal playing field. Everyone gets to at least have the bare minimum, which has been slowly taken away, the degradation of the minimum wage and it not matching inflation, and on 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 and on, and just this control that people try to have over others in such sick and disgusting ways. The speech that ends with the part you see in the trailers, the 79-year terror campaign is coming to an end. That's the heart of it. And when I have time, I'm going to be really curious what everyone's reasons for not liking this film is, or why they are disappointed, and I get it. It's not as absolutely ground-shatteringly great as I hoped, but man, I'm not bored. I'm not bored. It's like the further times of Obsession at the least, and I think it's better than that. It's like something I know is good, and I'm familiar with it, and I'm still watching it, and that's it. It's not bad. It's good. And it's even good for Steven Spielberg's filmography, so I don't know. Maybe it's just basic stuff he's covered in better ways. And did you know if you have Amazon Prime, you have a free Prime sub that you could drop over at twitch.tv/movies are dope. Boom! Boom! Yeah! Let's go for viewing number 4.
2 hours later.
Finally, let's take a being pitch black out for it to not hurt the eyes. People really be fucking up here. Hurts? This was the viewing where I was getting moments like viewing 9 of Obsession, where I was disconnected emotionally, but only for moments still. The parts that I giggled at worked. This was a bigger crowd, so I was actually hearing other people giggle at those parts, some of them. And man, the New York anchor really fucking sells that third act, really helps drive it home, because especially in that professional setting, having no words for what they're saying and getting choked up in that subtle way that she was doing, it really just fucking works. I sprayed myself with bug spray, but there are bugs, so I'm kind of I'll spray myself again. So I'm going to be recommending some people to rewatch it. Yesterday I talked to somebody who had to walk out halfway through because 3 people were being so disruptive and being such pieces of shit in the theater. Thankfully I haven't heard one single person acting out of line. Today, I've jinxed it, and somebody on TikTok said underwhelming, and I agree, first watch was underwhelming, but it just worked better on a second and third watch, and this fourth watch is just from the absolute numbers of it. Nothing specifically about the film, but I think that actually does prove my earlier point of this was not going to be some 40-year classic that people are going to come back to, but I think it is actually valuable and worth seeing twice and worth taking the message from it and trying to implement it into your life. Another thing worth implementing in your life is moviesardope.com or patreon.com/moviesardope, because then you can be with all the dope people listed at the end of this video. And it is a dope tier, literally $4.20. But you could literally help the Guinness World Record attempt by joining. Viewing 5.
Cutting-edge creatives to take part, as they will become our future marketing leaders.
2 hours later.
Even though I rather would have been sleeping for this 5th viewing, I think my favorite thing about Disclosure Day are the many, many banger one-shots. A lot of which, if you have only seen it once, you might not have even noticed. So catch them on your rewatch. If you're wondering why I'm not disappointed at throwing away money on so many screens, because I got Regal Unlimited. It's free for me. I won't even get a free month if you use that, but you will. And cue the dope people.
I'm living in a movie, there's a scene you gotta jump. I got my people at the viewing who all knew me selling tickets. Yeah, they talking about the beauty. I see Scorsese outside saying this isn't cinema. Free man, I ain't doing shit tomorrow, I don't need plans. I'll be kicking it till April off for $3 grand. I don't even need the money, I just need fans. I just need fans.